Good evening and welcome to the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. It is episode 55. Tonight it's just me and my co-host Greg kicking it old school.
Oh boy.
Mostly because Damien's kids are sick and some other bullshit. We're meant to have a special guest star, but apparently life also kicks their ass and does not allow them to come on the show. We could have invited others, but we didn't because we're terrible people, but that's life. Yeah, that's life. Greg, how's it going?
It's good, man. It's good. How's things down in the deep, dirty south?
It's pretty good. I'm getting a bit of painting done with the light going away at like 4 o'clock now. It was good having the sun until 11. It's like you could paint until it went twilight. Now I have to use my LEDs a lot more, but it's no big deal. I'm getting a lot more done. Haven't played
Good news?
Yeah. It's I can paint a bit faster. But I haven't played a game for a couple of weeks because I've been busy, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass, bit of a dry spell. But I'm hoping to have a game of Mordheim on Friday with my brother. Sure. He will be high on drugs because he's going to have some surgery during the day, and he still wants to rock a game in the evening. So, good luck to him there. How's the socials? How do they work, Greg?
Good. I mean, like, people are all over Facebook. We get quite a number of posts over on Facebook. I'm just looking there now to see what the latest is. People actually wanting us to make more videos, so we should probably do that.
That's a fantastic idea. I think I'll make a video as soon as I clear my table, but it's a bit of a pain in the butt because, you know, there's a lot of stuff on the table for Panzerschreck. Even though it's months away, I'd like to be finished well in advance.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've got to get back onto doing some Panzerschreck stuff. Now that I've finished the painting that I was doing for NZTC, because we've had that, I can start focusing on that again, as well as my Great War. I've got to get that finished too.
You do, because you got to play Mike. You got to beat him.
Have to play Mike,
even though it'll be allies on allies, because no one ever plays the Germans. It's so weird like that.
Training mission.
Yeah.
It's got Germans.
YouTube's got 1177 subs, which is pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We need more.
We need more. We need like 10 trillion.
Videos.
Yeah, it's our fault.
We need to beat PewDiePie.
No, thank you. Yeah. So what else we got? We got Twitter. Do we ever use that?
Occasionally I go and have a check out of what's on there, but mostly we're on Instagram now.
Yeah, Instagram seems better. It's just like, here's a picture of something cool, because like Twitter's like, here's my thoughts and feelings. It's like, no one cares, dick, but your pictures are better.
Pictures are way cooler. So I had like a couple of pictures of Bobby G up there on the weekend that
did he?
Oh yeah. Like.
I was just about to spoiler alert saying, but we'll come back to that in part 2.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Yeah. So should we kick into the noob news?
Let's do some noob news. Let's see what's been going on. It's been about a month since we did a podcast, so there's been a little bit going on, and there's a chance that we're going to miss some stuff. So if we do.
The good thing about missing it for a month is, like, there's so much more news to give. Some of it'll be old news, but there's, like, so much more content. You'll be like, yeah, I've got content, bitch. So, let's start with our old favourite Battlefront.
Hang on.
Oil Wars coming soonish, or out for some people.
Hang on.
What? Oh, fuck's sake.
It's in.
Okay, good stuff. So, Oil Wars, is it out, or is it coming? Coming out now soonish? Must be soon, right? Let me look at their calendar. Oil Wars is booked. April releases. It's April. It should be there.
It should be. I actually have a copy of it in my hand.
Scumbag.
Yeah, boy.
Any good?
Yeah, man. I love it. Like, if we hadn't have started already sorting out our armies for Panzerschreck, I would probably consider taking some Israelis.
Yeah, that's kind of bollocks, that this book magically appeared from nowhere, even though we probably knew about it. Yeah, that's annoying. Really annoying. Because I could have painted like 4 Merkavas and some Cobras and they'd be like, done! And then instead of labs, and there's like, I picked labs because I'm mental.
Yeah. You love the labs.
Yeah, they're nearly done. But then I can cry when it's all over. Battlefront appear to be having another open day for 2019, June 29, at the Cleve Lodge, Long Eaton, Nottingham, whatever that means. I guess that's their shop. So yeah, you have to get tickets for that. You get to meet Peter, JP, and John Matthews,
Cool.
and play games and talk about tanks and whatnot. So it sounds like fun. Phil recently put up a nifty article which you shared, which was how to win at Flames of War. Turns out it's like player not list, damn, and not being a noob helps.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's like get good is the only answer. The Great War landing page is updated. That's full of some fun stuff on there. More things. It's nice big thick book produced by Osprey. Get your hands on that. Apparently, rumor. Oh Jesus, I'm low on books. I need to get more. I've tried to get rid of some books to make more space for rule books, but no one will buy my books. Anyway,
You got shitty old ones.
no, I got like Warhammer fantasy novels, like all of the novels, not old rule books.
On the fantasy or 40k?
40k, same thing.
Yeah, well, I told you, send this to me.
Nah. What was I on about? Yeah, so, and rumor has it that Osprey will be printing the early war book. That's what I heard, rumor around the campfire, but who knows what's going on there.
Interesting.
What?
Interesting.
No, interesting. See, I can't hear you because I think you keep moving with the mic, and the mic's not in front of your face the whole time. I don't know.
I'm not moving anyway.
Is it on not push to talk?
I'm not on push to talk.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, we'll kick over to 40k Warhammer World. Speaking of 40k Warhammer, they changed the logo to a hammer.
No, what the fuck's that up?
It's half Warhammer, half Imperial Eagle. Yeah, you get it? See? I don't know. Yeah. No one cares. It's just logo crap. New Chaos stuff is out if you don't already know about it, including a nasty way to tailor a Chain Lord, as it's called, who's caused a bit of consternation. Something like he gets 4 zillion attacks on the charge and extra attacks and reroll 1s and hits on 2s and it kills you dead. He sounds like a fun chap to play with. And there's a bunch of other stuff like the Terminators are new and the what do they call them? Havocs. Excuse me.
It's new Havocs.
New Havocs with 2 of every weapon except the one you want. GG, Games Workshop. GG.
You just have to buy 2 boxes.
Well, that's pretty much their plan. Or get one 3D printed. More on that later. New AOS battle tomes. You got your Fire Slayers and your Blades of Khorne. Blades of Khorne I've seen played because I'm slowly getting into Age of Sigmar and learning to play that. The Blades of Khorne just became really nasty. Very choppy army. And very if I die I hit you when I die, which is even better. Same as who? Same as who? Hello, Greg.
Space Marines.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, your mic you're saying wrong on your end. It's a pain in the ass. You keep cutting out. You don't hear what I say, and it's making me angry. Anyway.
I can hear everything you're saying.
Well, good. Listen and talk back. Proper banter. Black Library has got a whole bunch of books. I was going to write them down, but I saw they had so many out. The Solar Empire one, or whatever it's called, the one, basically the Battle for Terra, that's not out till June or something, so I was like, oh, that's a while away. But I also saw they had horror novels, because I remember them mentioning Warhammer horror novels were coming out, so they'll be set in the old world by the looks of things. And I was thinking, isn't nearly every Warhammer novel like a horror novel based on some god-awful thing coming to murder swaths of the innocent? And I was like, now they've made one specifically for horror, so this is going to be something next level. Yeah. Warlord, next. They got a new game, or they've announced a new game.
Oh my god, this thing is just ridiculous.
Black Seas.
Yeah, I'm fucking super excited for this.
So, hey, you were pretty excited for the other one. What was the other one called? Cruel Seas. With your little fast boats.
That?
You dying?
Got Cruel Seas.
You got Cruel Seas, yes. And this one is a 1/700-ish scale, black powder era, so I'm going to say Napoleonic-ish warship. Well, it won't be Napoleonic, it'll be black powder age, so...
It sort of looks like it's going to be Napoleonic-ish.
So it's going to be a big boat game, well, with little tiny boats. and you'll be sailing across using the wind and cannoning each other. It's written by the same fella who wrote Cruel Seas, and Richard Carlisle.
Yeah, he did the original Battle of Britain game, I think.
Oh, but don't worry, I'm going to cough. How dare I? Gabriele Tolentino, he was heavily involved in the ancient rule set of Trafalgar that Games Workshop put out a million years ago. So he looks like he's one of the main writers on it. So that's pretty good. So they've got 25 plus years of XP writing this book. It shares some of the same qualities as Cruel Seas, but they also have wind, obviously, makes a difference, and the wake system and tracking of speed is a bit different. And they've also added, which made me quite interested, a sprinkle of silliness, which you can add in-game mythical creatures. And as someone who's played a lot of Sea of Thieves, I can tell you that when you've just finished raiding a skeleton fort and you've got, 20, 30,000 gold worth of treasure on your boat, and the Kraken decides he's going to take a run at your ship, the nuisance is real. It's not fun. So it's all going to be plastic, and it's all going to be little. It's going to
be awesome.
I think it'll be pretty awesome for those of you who like little boat games. It's a pretty cool new idea thing up from Warlord Games, so check that out on their website. What else did I see?
You got Parabellum, which is the next thing you had on the list.
That was the thing I picked up earlier. It's written by Alessio Calvatore.
Of him. It's
basically Warhammer-ish Age of Sigmar, but darker, or as dark as that. It's a Parabellum Games, War Games, which is based in Cyprus with offices in Greece and the US, so it's all over the place. The game is going to be called Conquest. Oh, and Parabellum's the name of the company. The game is called Conquest. So it's going to have 18 different races / factions in it. So it has humans. They'll look like medieval humans, so knights in armor and dudes with spears and whatnot. Spires, which is basically their take on elves. They're split into two factions, which, like elves, I'm assuming that'll be like a darker version and a slightly nicer version.
Is that right?
And they got Dwegholm, which I'm to dwarves, by the sound of things, yes they are. And they use dragons as beasts of burden, as you do. And use fire magic to animate statues to fight. Oh, of course they do, okay. Then you have Nords, which are twice the size of a normal human being. They use ogres, giants, and sea trolls. So, but the thing that got me was it was a 75 miniature box and rulebook for $85, which is
pretty good entry
which is a shit ton of miniatures, and it's less than any Games Workshop stuff. They're going to introduce a one-player one and expansions, and they look to cost, well, an infantry regiment with 12 models and movement trays and a card that apparently interacts with the web application was only $36. So it looks interesting. One of those games to try and see how it works out when it comes out. And hopefully it just doesn't, do what most big releases do and die. They look to be on plastic sprues as well. So they're that hard plastic that we've all come to know and love with GW. So fingers crossed, plastic tooling is expensive. Hopefully this works out for them.
I mean, the whole idea about this having a web application, I mean, that's a little bit sort of new wave. There's been games that have tried that before, and I don't know how successful they were. So quite curious to see how this one's going to work out. But at an $85 entry point, that's not too much money to lay out. And you could probably use the models for other shit as well if it doesn't work out.
More than likely. Some of the pictures of them, the monsters are pretty weird and backwards looking, and it just looks... It looks like you could use them as like, I need a beast of a... And the one on the main page is a really well done plastic sprue of something that has like a bug bottom and a clawy hand and... Oh, I don't know. And then the next pictures of some dudes with spears. I don't even think they're human. They're probably those weird elves they talk about. Then there's a bunch of spooky looking dwarves walking out of a thing. I think they're dwarves. They've got weird face masks on. And yeah, it's just a strange bunch of bugs and monsters. It looks interesting, so if you're into something a bit different, they say movement trays, but the models they're displaying aren't on movement trays. That last picture is weird and well painted and scares the shit out of me. It's like some reverse human centipede thing. I don't know, the second to last or the third to last picture of the big squishy flesh creature that's doing all sorts of weird shit. Anyway, it's some creepy design. That'll scare the kids.
You could use that for? You could use that for carnifexes.
Carnifexes or a Chaos Spawn or just whatever if you wanted to. We've got... Let's talk about the World of Tanks.
Oh my god, these fucking douchebags.
So, World of Tanks, we got an email from a friend who does a bit of 3D printing or designing, and he makes his own designs himself, or gets them from original records and just measures them up and makes the tank. World of Tanks went to Thingiverse, and told them to go and pull nearly every 3D print design of every World War II tank on there.
They DCMA'd and shit like that. Just
claiming that the people had used their designs to make their tanks.
Yeah.
Or that they had the rights to certain tanks, which is... If I know my historical correctness, absolutely no one has the right to a Tiger tank anymore.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
The Porsche factory may have had it, but until 1945, when the German Nazi government would have actually held the patent on that one. But up until I think April something or other 1945, I'm pretty sure that was no longer in effect.
I don't think they'd care too much now. Actually,
no, I think they would let it slide. But the thing is, World of Tanks went in and said, "Hey, we're a game about tanks. These are all our designs. DCMA, take them all down." What they're relying on is people not fighting back, because if you fight back and you say to Thingiverse, "No, the DCMA is bullshit," they have to give you 2 weeks and they have to put your stuff back up. You know. They can't just automatically say, "Oh no, fuck you, you've been DCMA'd, have a nice life." The only people who can say "fuck you, have a nice life" is YouTube. When you get DCMA'd, they can cancel your account, but no one else can, because if enough people get taken down and then you challenge it, then they have to do a 2-week review where your stuff still has to be available. World of Tanks is in the wrong and is hoping that, just like what JW do, a show of force will fuck you up and make you stop complaining. It's similar. It's similar to how Games Workshop went to the company that was running a game. I saw this on my Facebook and I thought, this is bullshit. The company was called Warbanner.
Oh yeah.
And Games Workshop came along. A lawyer sent them a letter, said, "Hello, your name is too close to Warhammer. Please cease and desist." And so they decided that they would change their name, which was really, really dumb. They could have spent the $250 to get a lawyer to send a letter back to say "get fucked," which is legal terminology for it's a completely different name. Eat a bag of dicks.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's so dumb. Like, too many people these days just roll over and be like, "Oh well, fuck it, that's life. Get on with it," and they enjoy being fucked. Don't. Turn around, challenge everything. Most of the time with a DCMA, you've got a button to challenge it, or you can send an email to Thingiverse to say, "I challenge you. I challenge that DCMA. This is my original design. I took it from measurements and designs that are available in like literally every World War II book there ever was." Or I found designs online, as in the design of the tank itself from schematics, and did it myself that way. Them taking it down, and I bet you World of Tanks pulled tanks they don't even have designs for.
Most likely.
I bet they took armored cars and all the other shit out of there. I don't know how World of Tanks works. I haven't played it since a billion years ago, but it's some silly little third-person tank game. I mean, fuck World of Tanks. Go play War Thunder. They haven't done anything wrong, and they don't have any Russian bias.
That Russian bias still pisses people off. I laugh at
dumb.
it. Oh, how I laugh.
Yeah, so that's dumb. So remember, when you're challenged, always challenge back, especially when you're not wrong.
I just think it's a massive dick move, right? Because exactly as you say, there's no way that they can fucking copyright designs from the 1930s to the 1940s.
Exactly.
Just get fucked.
And looking at a lot of World of Tanks, I'm just going to have a look at this World of Tanks in the images. Because I can't, because I know I watch a lot of War Thunder, and they use accurate tank models and designs. And just looking at World of Tanks, okay, they seem to follow the same design, but they have a little third person, kind of like you driving a little tiny tank around.
Okay.
And unless people have stolen, and what they'd do is they'd unpack their tanks from the design side of things, and you take, because you can like with 3D images, you unfold them.
All right. Yeah.
And with computer game design, it all unwraps. So my brother-in-law does a bit of this, and so everything wraps around an invisible mold, as it were. So you spread everything out. I've seen him do it with a human model, and it's gross when you stretch a person out. But you do the same with tanks. So they're claiming that they've stolen their specific designs, and it's like there is absolutely nothing specific about their designs. I'm just looking at a tank now. I see right there a Wisp. I see a Panzer III there. I see a Panzer IV there. There's no way. There's a Pershing. And there's some Jag Tiger. There's no way. They're fucking grey Jag Tigers, you cockwommels. Can't get the fucking colour right. There's no way they could copyright any of these. Unless they're their specific design tanks. Like, I think on the mobile game, they have their own weird, specifically designed tanks that are just medium tank, heavy tank, fast tank, retarded tank. Stuff like that. But you can't. There's no way you can get these. If anyone knows of a way that you can legally say that those are your designs and your tanks, but by actually having the original tanks and then stopping other people making the historical designs, please let me know. I'd love to hear from an actual lawyer and not pay you any money.
Yeah, can we have that pro bono, please?
Yes. Suspended, Your Honor.
Oh.
Yeah. So enough ranting about that. So we always got to have one thing that pisses us off, and it's the big bloody sharks kicking the little fishies when they're down.
Should make this a permanent segment and call it like Dick Move of the episode or something.
Dick Move, miniature company, Dick. Well, it's not even a miniature company. It's like Dick Move of the episode. So I challenge. I name the World of Tanks Dicks. That is all, and that is my personal opinion. Not based on anything that the show has, blah, 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 legalese to not get me sued. Eat a bag of dicks.
Absolutely. Fair use policy, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, all that jazz. One party recording permission, I record myself, I give my decision to blah, blah, whatever. I'm a sovereign citizen, I answered no man. Anyway, we got a new show sponsor.
What?
Yeah, I got one, because it's going fishing.
How'd you manage that?
Well, I was going to say I actually checked the BEL email, and there's probably one in there, but I get the feeling we never checked that, so we should probably fix that. Anyway, he reached out to me. He said, "Oh, Daniel, you're the boss of the show," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," it's like he said, "Oh, I tried to get sponsorship elsewhere, and it was expensive and shit," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost you heaps here too," and he's like, "All right then." So welcome.
Cost you heaps.
Nah, it cost nothing. So welcome aboard, new show sponsor, TitanTerrain.nz.
Welcome.
I think the actual name is Titan Terrain. Yeah, it's just Titan Terrain. But the website is TitanTerrain.nz with all the wwws and whatnot in front there. There's an ad for him on the show. What he does is he's also a student, which is kind of amazing. It's just TitanTerrain.nz. I was right. He's like a student, and he does this in his spare time. I liked reading his about. When I read it, it was basically he's a dude who was going to order a bunch of laser cut terrain from overseas, and then he was like, if I spend a bit more money and buy a laser printer, I could make all the terrain I ever wanted. So he did that, which is a smart thing to do. And
Cool.
And if he's a student, is he a student? Or is he a teacher?
I don't know.
Hang on a second, let me read. His name's Joe, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. It doesn't actually tell him what he does for a job.
You made that shit up.
Maybe if he's a student or a teacher, I don't know. He's one or the other. He said classes, I don't know if he does either way. Either way, he's probably underpaid. So it's a good way to make a bit of extra cash. But he does a lot of stuff. Like a lot of big buildings, it's just the MDF laser cut. So ships to New Zealand, no dramas. Ships twice a week. Also does international for you folks overseas. He's got a bunch of Gothic ruins terrains there, and you saw some of that at the NZTC, I imagine.
Yeah, I did. There was a whole table of it set up. So unfortunately, Ivan ran out of black primer, so a lot of it wasn't primed. But looks like really easy stuff to put together. Looks very, very solid.
Yeah.
It's as though,
the Gothic ruins is like your very 40k / destroyed city. The quick start ruins look cool. They're just basically corners of buildings that are smashed up, and everything else is ruined Gothic type stuff. So it's your Gothic style. I'm just going to say Warhammer buildings, because it's easy to say. It's got your sci-fi slums as well, so that's good for your Infinity games with all your sci-fi crap. He's got a freight hub.
World War II stuff.
His freight hub terrain is pretty cool. That's like factory stuff, which you could also, just looking at, use for Necromunda with no drama.
At all.
A lot of storage containers in a big warehouse. And
that container carrier looks fucking cool, right?
oh yeah, it's like got little grappling hooks on it. I wonder if I don't think it moves, but I'd never checked it because I don't know.
This stuff would work quite well with Legion as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's perfect for Legion. Big storage tanks and stuff. He's got fortifications, which are basically just a massive, like the big ones. The modular fortress walls are just straight sections and corner sections. Just a big fortress wall, which is cool if you're making like a bunker table or something. The World War II stuff is very cool. He's got actually quite a lot in that.
So now that's all 28mm at the moment.
That's all 28mm, but I said to him when he came to me, I said, you would also capture some of the market if you went down the 15mm track. And he's like, really? And then he went away, and I think it was like the same night I challenged him to do it. He came back with, one that was made and cut. And then he started asking the community how to make it, better. So he's still working on 15mm, so that'll be good for Flames of War, but it's also great stuff for bolt action here.
Yeah, absolutely. I
mean, he's even got vehicles, which is interesting. He's got like your old Model T Ford looking things and your flatbed trucks. And I think he printed laser cut. No, he didn't print. He cut like an M3A1
white scout car.
Yeah, white scout car. I was like, nice, smart move, because he needed 3 of them to test. So why not print a bunch up? So it's pretty cool. So it's a new show sponsor, TitanTerrain.nz. That's the website. He's also on Facebook, and you'll hear an ad for him soon.
Definitely go and check him out, and make sure you check out our other sponsors as well. Don't forget about our other sponsors, because those guys also give us the hella hookups, and we love all of the people that after us.
Okay, let's say a big cut out there. All of the people who after us. After us. Look after us. Yeah. But remember to uninstall World of Tanks and install War of Thunder, because they're dicks. I think that's the end of part 1. Do you have anything else to add to this, Greg?
I'm just glancing through a couple of bits and pieces here. It doesn't look as though there's anything else that I can really find. So yeah, shit. It's a done deal.
Sweet. I've just witnessed something on our club page.
What's that?
Daryl is using the camoing technique, my favorite one, of masking with.
Oh yeah.
It looks like blue tack. I prefer silly putty, but blue tack does the trick as well. So I love the best part about what is it? That's hard edge camoing with that is the peeling it off bit. It's just the best thing ever. He's going to experience that with what looks like 6 patterns and about 1 billion Humvees. He's going to have so much fun doing that. Anyway, this is the end.
This list.
Yeah? Did you lose?
Yeah, of course I did.
As is tradition. All right. That's the end of part 1. We'll join us back in part 2. We'll talk about what Greg did outside of club.
It was glorious.
Yeah.
Danger, danger! Is your battlefield in need of terrain? Visit TitanTerrain.nz. They've got all the laser cut MDF terrain from historical, modern, and futuristic. Visit TitanTerrain.nz or follow them on Facebook.
And welcome back to part 2 of episode 55 of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. We're going to be taking a look at what I got up to on the weekend representing my club, representing the T-Cow.
Mm-hmm.
We had the inaugural NZTC for 40k, which was the New Zealand team's championships. It was held up at Mighty 8, so big ups to them for putting the venue on for us. As always, the venue up there's fucking amazing, man. Like, seriously, just what they've done and being able to fit a whole heap of gamers in there with need pretty much, while at the same time running a retail space as well, Like, big ups, massive kudos to Dave and the team up there doing a massive job. So NZTC was the brainchild of Hayden and Bartosz from over at the NZ40K Cabal.
They're a competing podcast.
Not competing, they're our brothers.
Okay, but you should listen to them, I suppose.
Do listen to them.
They're alright. They're supposed to be here today, but they're useless, so you know.
We're going to get Hayden on the show, but Hayden, for those of you who don't know him, which is probably a lot if you're international, Hayden is a member of the Northland Police Force and was in an altercation with an alleged criminal, which meant he had to do a little bit of overtime. So we'll get him on a show, and I've been told that I'll be going on their show at some point.
Why you?
Or will be going on their show at some point because you don't play 40k.
I play 40k. I play the Tyranids.
Ugh, nobody plays Tyranids anymore, mate.
The cool people do.
No, they don't.
Oh, no, they don't. They play Gene Stealer cults because they're somehow better.
They are much better. So the event itself, every recognised club, or pretty much even if you're an unrecognised club, really in New Zealand, got sent an invitation to send a team to the NZTC last year. A lot of clubs took that up. There were a few who didn't, and that meant that clubs like the Auckland Model Citizens had a couple of teams in there, but we got teams from all over the country. So
didn't you have someone from Dunners come up?
So our team, we didn't play a single team from Auckland all weekend.
That makes a change. Like every tournament we've been to, we either played the people we always play with, or people from around the corner.
So we played some guys from Christchurch. We played the Dunedin guys, which was really cool. Some Tauranga guys, some Hamilton guys, and some Northland guys, which is really cool. It was good to see just like pretty much every area of the country represented. Really cool. So the format was 3-player teams. If a player in the team took an army with a certain keyword, for example, then nobody else in the team could take a force with that keyword.
Yeah.
Which meant that there were some pretty varied armies that were out there.
I imagine that'd have to be. It's like, wow, so the Gene Stealer cults you couldn't have a Tyranid player
on your team. No.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't.
Because you'd be like, keyword Tyranid. Could you also not have an Imperial Guard player? Because keyword Adeptus Militarum when you had support from the AM.
If that was a keyword in your army for, then nobody else could use Astra Militarum.
Holy shit! Imagine that. You want to be a dick and use like a Shadow Sword or something, or the one with the big minigun, Stormlord, and then you guys say, "Oh, I've got this cool Astra Militarum army that'll win us the game." And you're like, "Sorry, mate. Oh, Joey there with his fucking pasty friends and his Gene Stealer dudes is taking the AM slot. You better play Space Marines or something, loser."
I don't think that's how playing in a team works, mate.
That sounds exactly like how playing in a team works. It's like, hey, I'm using the cool stuff. You can get fucked. Oh, loser.
But I mean, there was a massive spread of armies. So, Team TCal, actually, what were we called on the day? I can't remember.
Was it the guys who are probably going to come last? So, hey, look, they did. But, hey, they have a chance because they have this one guy who's actually good. And then, never mind. Was that the name of the team?
Not what we called. No, that's not what we were called. We were called, one moment, caller, and I'll let you know. Just talk amongst yourselves. 2019. Search. NZTC. There we are. Our team was called Club Leaders and Team Organisation Routinely Irritating Strangers.
Clitoris. Again.
Yeah, it was.
That again.
So good. Really good.
God.
Yeah, unbelievable. So I was on the team. Monkey was our team captain, and Damien was supposed to play, but then he got footballed.
Mm-hmm.
Football and stuff. So we got Glenn from Club N. So
who is actually a really good player.
like super good player. Like I think he won our only game out of the whole. Actually, he definitely won our only game out of the whole weekend. I took my Space Marines.
Yes, as you do.
I took a triple Redemptorist.
They go good?
I mean, it was fun. It was fun. It was super cool painting those 3 massive dreadnoughts. So I took 3 Redemptors, Primarch, Intercessors, Hellblasters, a Primaris Librarian, and a Tech Marine as well.
Needs just to fix the tanks.
Fix the tanks. Never really got a chance. Never got a chance to do it. Really. There was one game I think he had a go at it, and that was about it. Most people just concentrated fire on them.
Oh, I would too. They got a lot of firepower to return back.
Huge amount of firepower, ridiculous. They look super cool on the table. I had a lot of fun moving those guys around. Affectionately called Joker, Jokey, Handy, and Bashful.
Nice. Did they do a lot of damage though, or they can do a lot of damage, can't they?
Yeah, they can do a massive amount of damage. Like if you've got the one with the heavy macro plasma incinerator, that's heavy D6 plasma shots. If you supercharge it and you fail, you only do yourself a mortal wound rather than being slain.
Oh, that's handy.
Which is quite nice.
For
but if you've got them, yeah, totally. If you've got them all round, then they get rerolls anyway.
Oh, nice.
So that's super cool.
So how did you lose with this army that had 3 bullshit giant robots, all Primaris, Guilliman, and the other crap?
Yeah, people would just concentrate fire on the massive firepower is in the Redemptors. Everything else, they concentrate firepower on the Hellblasters and on the Redemptors. By then, I've got pretty much fuck all left. Guilliman does a hell of a lot of heavy lifting, so you use him as a buff to start with to get your reroll hit, your reroll misses, your reroll wounds.
Yeah.
And then later on, you just throw him at stuff, and he absolutely eats face when he gets into combat with stuff.
Oh, that's good of him. He's a hungry guy. He's pretty strong. He's not the best Primarch, but he's better than your average commander troop, I imagine.
Oh, it's like he's worth the 400 points that you paid for him.
He's 400 points. How many points was this? How many points was this tournament?
50 tournament.
How much? You're cutting out and you're completely gone now.
1,750.
Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's no good. I mean, losing. So,
we had a super amount of fun. So I took those. Glenn took his Drukhari. He has this super tuned Drukhari list with 6 Taluses.
Is tune the new word for cheese?
Yeah, it is. He's on my team, so I can't say cheese.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So the Taluses, and then he's got a whole heap of other stuff, and he's also got Dire Avengers in there as well. So he's not technically Drukhari; he's Eldari. So he's got these 5 Dire Avengers because he wants I think it's to get a Farseer.
Oh goodness, sounds like a familiar build.
Yeah,
I've taken minimal things so I can get a guy who does really good things. It's like, it sounds like the last edition.
Exactly. And Monkey took Harlequins. He took his all 1990s Harlequin list.
I saw those. Invulnerable saves galore.
They help.
It's crazy.
Didn't really help at all. Didn't really help at all. So, I mean, not even close. So, we had some super cool games. We had a lot of fun doing it, and the experience was well worth the price of admission. Really, really well run tournament. So kudos to the to Hayden and Bartosz. Guys did really, really good. Team from technically Wellington, but not really Wellington because none of them live in Wellington, took it out, which was Team Sad.
How do you have a team from Wellington that doesn't live in Wellington?
One of the guys was from Masterton, one's from Wainuiomata, and I think the other one was from Paraparam.
Oh, so they just said close enough to Wellington because the Aucklanders won't know where the rest of these places are.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only reason I know about Masterton is from the time my brother-in-law was off his bean on ecstasy or mushies, and he fucking was out pinging on town, and the cops like arrested him, but they were like, you know, they called me and they were like, hey, we got this guy here, he's a bit fucked up from the drugs. And I was like, what? Is like, and we need you to pay for a hotel or motel room for him to stay in. And I was like, that's a nice scam, buddy. Okay, bye-bye. And then they called back and stuff, and they were like, yeah, it's Constable Blah, it's really a thing, and you need to do it, because it sounds like someone didn't want to fill in a form and take someone to jail, so I paid the $80 to let him sleep in a motel, and, oh, I can tell you what, he was in a lot of trouble the next day. Not from me, from his mum. I didn't care. Like I thought it was worth the $80. Yeah. But that's how I know where Masterton is. It's like 9 and a bit hours away if you drive non-stop through the night to go and get him. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, but
in a lot of trouble. So we walked away with super massive glory. We took away spoon I have ever seen in my life.
that was like an oar.
It's an oar. It's a paddle.
It was like a paddle for a boat. I was like, holy shit, what have you won? It's like, oh, you haven't.
It's 4 foot tall.
Holy shit, that's huge.
We're getting a plaque put on it, so it's going to be called the NZTC That's a Paddling.
That's a paddling. Nice.
And we are the inaugural winners. We have it.
Oh, that's a good thing to have, I guess. Oh, excuse me.
You can see it from here.
Ah.
It's taking pride of place in my pool room.
You gotta give it to your giant space marine to hold on to.
And actually, Monkey came up with a really, really cool idea. And actually, I'm not going to spoil it. When I've done it, I'll show everyone.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Super cool. Yeah.
Share what you do with your spoon on the internets.
Not with the spoon.
Yeah.
It's with my Primark. So we had some. There was, I think, the best games that we played were on the second day when we knew that there was no way we were going to get anywhere near the top. So one game I played against AdMech player.
Yeah.
Now I've never played against AdMech before. They're seriously tough. And you stay dead.
They stay dead, or you stay dead?
You stay dead. They shoot you. You stay dead. So I had Bobby G out in front, and he threw a unit of dragoons at me.
Yeah.
G, and he was with who was with you with his the tech marine.
Yeah. The dragoons are the dudes on the weird horsey. No, that's the Sidonian dragoons. Is that them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything with like the wave band type, modern wave music band type titles is an AdMech dude. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And how'd that charge work out for you?
For me, fine.
Oh, okay. But what about? Hang on. So you charged him, but what happened? Yeah, you didn't finish the story.
To me.
Hello?
No, he charged me.
Yeah, I know this.
And we got through the first round of combat, and Bobby G went, you guys should taste my dad's sword. And he killed them all.
Holy shit, how many wounds do they have each?
How many wounds they've got.
So there we go. Sorry, technical difficulties there, trying to make microphones not be shit. So how many wounds does each one of those dragoons have?
Like to find out, and it didn't matter, they all died.
That was great. Kind of figured out. I was like, I don't know. It's got some.
It's either 3 or 6. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure they'll have 6. 3 would be weird.
Right. Anyway, they died. So then all of my stuff died. All I was left with on the table was Bobby G, a librarian, and a tech marine.
You can win a game with that.
Well, you'd think so. When the guy on the other side of the table still got like 3 Onaga Dune crawlers and a whole heap of Skitari and pretty much everything else.
The Dune crawlers are mean because they do a flat 3 damage or more.
Yes, they do.
With their neutron lasers. See, I watch a lot of videos about those guys, and it's like, and I shoot you, I missed, and it's like, okay, I missed, or I hit you, and I do 3 damage. Meh.
Yeah. It's. I mean, that flat 3 damage is just ridiculous. So we went trucking along towards one of those.
Yeah.
Tech Marine in first to eat up the Overwatch.
As you do. And he gone again.
To Overwatch. He died to Overwatch.
He died to Overwatch.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
No. So then I sent in I was going to send in the librarian, and I went, Bobby G should be able to survive this. So I got Bobby G in. He survived the Overwatch. No problems. Should have done that the first time.
Yes.
Takes one massive swing at this Dune Crawler with his daddy's sword. Dune Crawler in one go.
Boom.
It explodes.
Oh, no.
And kills Bobby G.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
So I'm like, oh, okay, great. Well, that's fine. We'll wait to the end of the phase and we'll just see if he gets back up. Up? Even with a reroll.
Oh, dear.
And I was left with a librarian.
Smite your way to victory.
We called it at that point. We were running out of time, so
That's
we called it.
Probably a good idea. Losing Bobby G to a mortal wound explosion. That's fun. But that's the best way someone's killed a Primarch yet, by blowing up a vehicle.
Unbelievable. And then I thought it couldn't get any better, the next game I played against a Chaos player. So he had cultists up the wazoo. He had obliterators. He had a Chaos Lord or a Demon Prince or something. He had bikers. He had World Eaters in a Forge World Termite tunneler thing.
Yep. The thing that comes from underground.
Yeah,
I seen the thing.
It's so he had that filled with World Eater berserkers.
Oh, cool.
Berserkers, and Khan.
Oh, good old Khan.
So I've set up my blue line to go for, because we have to. It was kill points. The number of points that you killed, if you killed more than 300 points, more than your opponent, you won.
Oh, handy for World Eaters.
Yeah, really, really handy. Also, really, really tricky for me, because even if I kill all the cultists, they come back.
Does that mean you get their points plus whatever points you killed? Do they not count as killed?
No, they don't count as killed. They don't count as destroyed until they're destroyed.
Oh, that's stupid.
Oh, well, that works out, especially if you've got a Primarch who can die twice.
I suppose that's not so bad.
Didn't matter. I killed so many cultists, and then they all popped up in my backfield.
How annoying!
But by then, well, no, see, because the termite thing had popped up in there as well. So I exploded that with a Redemptor.
Nice.
And I sent the Redemptor there to go and sort it out, and I sort of sent a Primarch with it.
Oh, as you do.
And the World Eaters got out of this dead termite thing. They went, oh shit, there's a Primarch, and they went hoofing off around the corner to try and do something else. Meanwhile, they're getting chased by Bobby G, and then these cultists appear in front of them. So they've got this shield of 28 cultists.
28 cultists? Is that how many cultists can you have in a squad?
No, that was all of the ones that had died, and they came back.
Oh, but was it one squad, or was it two squads, or
3, I think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say 28 of them in a game where you can no longer do templates is so annoying.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Didn't matter. We cut through them. So then, we cut through the cultists. So there's the cultists that are. So we shot the World Eater berserkers. No problem. Khan's still there. Cultists are in combat with Bobby G and eyeing those up. There's a gap between Bobby G and the Redemptor that Khan can go through to try and get my Primaris Librarian.
Yes.
Chases the Librarian down, destroys him.
As you'd imagine. Yeah.
Consolidates towards Bobby G, and then he's got this other thing where if he's within 3 inches, he can charge again.
Oh yeah.
He charged Bobby G.
And
did 0 wounds to him.
Oh really?
0. So Bobby G hit him back with his daddy's sword.
Imagine that didn't end well for him.
It's fucking head off in one go.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many points is he?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much. I still lost that game.
Oh,
I think the opposition, he had like another Forge War tank, which was a Scorpion.
And what does that do?
It's like a missile. It's like Biovores, but without the Biovore thingies.
So it's a artillery thing.
Yeah, it's artillery.
Oh, cool.
And he had a chaos armature as well. So they're all sitting in the backfield because they got like 60-inch range. And
Nice.
And
It's just what
so
you
I
need.
can't get to kill them. So I had a Redemptor left. I know he killed all 3 Redemptors
Oh my god.
at the Primarch. It was the only game that my Primarch didn't die.
Oh, that's a good start.
Yeah. So, but he still beat me by over 300 points, which was a victory. So, but super fun game. Like the game was like played in the best spirits ever. Like we were laughing and we were like, we'd make mistakes and we are like, oh shit, we'll just roll it back, and like super fun. So that was against the guys from Dunedin. So awesome. Like if they're listening, guys, you guys were seriously the best opponents we had all weekend. Amazing.
That's good. I like it when people travel and they're like, nice. Did they win in the end, or did they? No, Wellington won, right? No.
No, the Dunedin guys came like second last.
Oh, okay. Not as rubbish as you.
So the game was the battle for the spoon.
Oh, the Spoon Wars, the most important fight of all.
Absolutely. So like really, really good tournament. Got to sit in on the Twitch stream as well. Had a couple of chats on Twitch stream with Bartosz when he was commentating some games. So there was one game feature table that was set up that was streamed live over Twitch. So a game every round, which was really, really cool. So yeah, really, really cool.
That's really good. Who won in the end? Was it I forgot. Is it
Team Wellington?
Team Wellington, the made-up Wellington guys. That's right. Because I recognise some of them from. I've seen them at Panzerschreck before.
Yeah. I did recognise a few of them as well.
That's the thing. 40k did happen at Panzerschreck like every year until the brand new edition got released, and then everyone was unfortunately busy doing a completely like one of them. The guy who organises it had a martial arts tournament on that weekend. Like that. It was like, oh, dudes, you're missing out on the brand new edition of the game that you could play here at your tournament. So I look forward to like seagulling their games between our games of Team Yankee.
Don't know if 40k is going to be at Panzerschreck this year, is it?
I don't know. I know Age of Sigmar is, or whatever they play there.
And Legion is as well.
Was Legion going to be there?
There's going to be a Legion tournament at Panzerschreck this year. There was one there last year.
Was it? I don't know because I was busy playing Flames of War and with like 2 tigers. Yeah. It's weird, like, cause I know where it's advertised. It's advertised on the Flames of War website, but I don't know what else goes on there because everything else seems minor compared to Flames of War, which is the big, it's the main event.
Oh yeah, well, except for this year, it's not Flames of War.
Oh yeah, it's Team Yankee, same thing.
Team Yankee,
same but different. Yeah. Oh, that was a good thing to talk about there, Greg, about the game. I don't really have anything to talk about because I haven't been to club in a while.
Why not? What's going on there?
I was fucking sick as one time. I had like the man flu at the end of September, and I was like, at the end of September, at the end of summer there, I was like, well, that means I can't get one for winter now, right? And saying, yeah, right. And
flu shot?
I'm going to get it because it's free, so I might as well.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I already got mine.
Gonna give me them autisms. Might as well get a measles shot as well while I'm at it, because you never know with kids these days. They're all covered in measles, being disgusting. So
only the ones that aren't vaxxed.
I don't know who's vaxxed and who's not vaxxed. I'm just gonna get another one. I don't even know if I need one. I might as well just get another one. And what's
the worst that could happen?
I get super measles.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
Or I get autism times 2, whatever that does. Maybe I'll get 2 autisms and I'll be normal. That's sweet as.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. But yeah, other than that, I've just been at home painting up my Team Yankee. Putting little touches on everything and doing what I do and go overboard on everything, and then regretting, choosing a lab army.
You're not going to win best painted anyway.
I know, because fucking what's the Wellington guy's name? Oh, fuck me. Serious chap.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian will win because I know what that bastard's doing. He's doing Berlin camo on everything.
Is he really?
Well, I saw him do Berlin camo. I was like, well, you're not going to win because you're taking British tanks.
Correct.
But then he could join Team Milan, and win. But
no, I think we're banning Milans.
Bullshit. You wish. This is the game's answer. I mean, as soon as the second version rolls around, they rock in some of those V4 artillery rules. Then the Milans are just like later gators. No need for you. But yeah, hopefully your army's up to scratch. What may I ask, pray tell, is in your army? Because since we're partners, so how many patterns do you have?
I will have a total of 12.
That's okay. Yep.
Yeah. I believe then I've also got some Humvees.
That do what?
They tow things.
So just tow Humvees. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I've got the infantry for holding the objectives down, so that's dragon teams and stuff like that. So
the worst teams. Yep. Cool. Dragon teams are absolutely hopeless. They're just like RPG teams. Can't stop a tank if they tried.
I've got the anti-aircraft.
Oh, good. What kind?
VADS.
And?
Only take one kind.
What? Can't you take a sweet Sergeant York?
Could, but then I wouldn't be able to take the VADS.
But isn't Sergeant York better?
Maybe, but I haven't built them.
So hang on a minute. You took my Sergeant Yorks and you never built them. Pathetic.
They're not built yet.
Got any artillery?
I've got some M109s if we need them.
Yeah, we do. Because we've got, like, my mortars, which are woefully unequipped to kill people.
Alright, I'll get them painted too. They're built.
Good. So, is that that doesn't sound like 70 points.
It's pretty close to 70 points.
Jeepers creepers, yeah.
Because the patterns are 20, 40, 44 points of patterns.
Yeah. Okay.
These are fuck all. Infantry's fuck all. So I just have to rejig the list because I don't think my list had the M109s in it initially. So if we're going to take those, I'll just rejig.
Yeah, because remember you can pay the 1 point to have the sweet copperhead and bomblets and minefields as well, which are always very handy.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case you need minefields, I'll build some minefields because I know how to build those with your special discs.
You do a video about that.
I did. You should watch it. I think someone shared it the other day, which was pretty interesting. But we should be okay. I know the trick with armored cars in this game, or sorry, light armored vehicles, is to rush. Just to rush. Just go.
Are you sure about that?
Yep. Because the lav has the same rate of fire of 3 or 4 as it does when it's stopped and it's moving, and it absolutely kills BMPs to pieces, rips them to shreds. I have Scout, and I have Spearhead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I tend to do is I tend to drive out and I tempt them. My sweet, sexy lav ass, and they're like, "Oh, I'm coming out to get you." And then my lav AT's like, "Surprise, motherfucker!" And just like rockets the shit out of them. Then they're in trouble. Yeah. And then occasionally the Abrams show up and they're like, "We're in the army," and they just like the Abrams are so like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Awesome.
Underwhelming. They've shown up like twice in every game now, and they'll be like, "We're Abrams, yeah, fuck yeah," and they shoot and they missed. Like my first game, actually, that's a lie. My first game, they showed up from reserve. They're like, yeah, getting like long range shots on some. Oh, what's the British tank called? Chieftains. They're them chieftains. Is that right? Doesn't sound right.
It's chieftain.
Okay, it's chieftains. All right, all out. They got long range shots on them, but then the chieftains are like bounce. I was like, what? Oh, that's right. They get +1 armor at range because it's not a heat round. Lame.
Oh. Did they have Stillbrew on?
No, they didn't. They just rolled really good. But then I remember my second game. I got to attack and I just jumped around a corner, and then I realized Abrams have a full rate of fire of 2 on the move. So my army is a full mobile army, can move and shoot, bar the helicopters.
Yeah, sweet.
So it's just a rush. It's all I'm going to do.
Oh.
And I'm amphibious, so if there's any tiny puddles of water, I'm just going to spush through them. Then I'm going to hit people with that 25mm chain gun love. Die, scumbags. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But that's what I've been painting. So I can't talk about what I did at club. I'm talking about what I'm going to do. But I can't really tell you about that because it hasn't happened yet. Make any sense? I don't know. Not really. Yeah.
It makes sense in a weird, fucked up kind of way.
Yeah. But that's the end of part 2 now. even with the sound failings, we'll come back. We back in part 3.
We don't know what we're going to talk about.
Don't know what we're going to talk about. Might just end it, but we'll see how it goes. Short and sweet. All right.
You'll either hear us again in a minute, or you won't.
Ooh, mysterious. Ooh, bye for now.
Need tokens, terrain, or custom battlefield accessories? BattleKiwi.com has you covered. With a wide range of laser cut MDF and acrylic, it has something to suit everyone's wargaming needs. Ranging from the battlefields of World War II to the far future of Infinity, BattleKiwi.com has it all. Visit BattleKiwi.com, and for a 5% discount, use the code BEL5. Dice of War. Dice of War supply custom and historical wargaming dice and accessories. Unique designs to suit your gaming requirements. Visit the online store today at diceofwar.com.au.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Dan here. Just here with a message of thanks. It's been a big journey to get to 55 episodes for both myself and Greg, who have been in. Well, I've been in all of them. Greg's been in 90% of them. Like to thank you. We're not making a third part about meat and taters. Greg's gone home. He's very tired, as am I, as you can probably tell. Just a thanks to everyone for listening. Sorry, the audio's a bit spiky in this one. I did get a bit excited because it had been a while. If you're still listening, remember to follow us on Podbean, so you get alerted every time we release a new podcast. Sign up to YouTube. We will absolutely promise to make more videos over the Easter break, so you will get a few more things to watch there. Also, considering giving us money on Patreon, we'll use it for terrible purposes. Other than that, like and subscribe is all I can say. Thanks for watching and have a great day. And happy wargaming. Ha! That's from Mini Wargaming, but it's mine now. Happy wargaming.